Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stand and we want you to make some noise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go three abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Talking sprint car racing. Our favorite time of the week. We are so glad that you have chosen to join us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here, and we're going to talk to Brad Sweet and Freddie Rahmer. A couple guys are doing a lot of winning here lately.
Absolutely.
Really, really neat stuff. It really is. Sweet picked up the win. He's still got the hot hand at Knoxville, it looks like.
And the hot hand on the Outlaws right now.
Yeah, leading the points up there at the top of the win chart. And Freddie Rahmer, 2 in a row at Williams Grove. So lots of good stuff to talk to those young men about and a whole lot more. We're glad you joined us here. It is Wing Nation. And looking back at this past weekend, the Outlaws versus Knoxville versus the 69K, I think everyone walks out of there with something positive.
I agree. I think many were probably disappointed, maybe happy that the 69K didn't do well on Friday night, but I love to see what they said about it and the improvement they had on Saturday night.
That team went to Port Royal for the Twin 20s 2 weeks ago. The last thing in the world they needed to do was win that race.
Yeah.
The new Ryder engine, they wanted to get. So that team, that trip to Knoxville was not about Knoxville this past weekend. It was about Saturday night, August 10th.
Yes, learning.
And if they made as much progress from night 1 to night 2 as they'll make coming into August, batten down the hatches.
Yep, you bet.
And those guys, they are just so smart the way they do it. And I'm at graduation. My daughter graduated Saturday night, so I'm off social media. And I get home, and things have settled down, and I punch on, and it says, Dewey starting on the pole at Knoxville. I'm like, oh, my God,
boy.
Here we go.
He
And
did
that
a good
car looked
job
good.
for,
That car looked good going around there. But, the other thing, and I'll be interested to talk to Brad Sweet about it, because Brownie last week talked about running the bottom, and that's what we saw with Brad Sweet, too.
Yep. And he talked about it after the race as well.
That's the whole thing. Hey, another thing? I love TJ Slideways. TJ does a great job with his website.
TJ Barfenberger?
Yes, exactly. Yes. I'm glad you said that and not me.
I've known TJ a long time.
Yeah, he is a great guy, and his website is really, really neat. I use it a lot of times when working on the upcoming race calendar, use it for results. And he has the feature win list. My buddy Brad Brown used to do this on IB Racing, but Brad's decided to vacation now and make his own craft beer and everything else. So TJ's picked it up, and it's great. When we look at the wing sprint car drivers, the feature win list, and I hate, until we get into the fall of the season, I'm not big talking points. And I mean, I understand points mean that you're performing well. I get that. But I'm not big on, well, you're 37 points out in May. What does that mean? What I do like is winning races. Okay? And Mark Smith, 11 wins.
Wow. I did not know that.
Michael Pickens, the midget racer, has 11 wins also. But Mark Smith has 11 wins. The top 410 winner in the country is Danny Dietrich with 9. And that's not a shocker at all.
Nope.
When you look at what he's done in Pennsylvania with the World of Outlaws, with the All-Stars.
The big porch.
Yes, exactly. The big porch. His porch is in Ohio getting wet this week. But Danny has 9. And then Buddy Kofoid, and I'm not sure if all of these are wing sprint cars, Tony Stewart has 7 wins.
Wow.
And there's a bunch of them with 6 wins. So I love that list. And, man, I'll tell you what, when you look at Mark Smith and Danny Dietrich, the state of Pennsylvania is represented well at the top.
You bet.
Yep. So great stuff. And I love, like I said, it's tjslideways.com. Give TJ a follow. Follow along with him. He is, everyone comes along. We have the hose heads and the TJ Slideways. They're the rocks.
Yep.
They're the ones that we all do our own thing now and everything like that, but none of it would have been possible without hose heads and with TJ Slideways, guys like that have been doing it. So, and TJ just does a great job.
And his social media is on point. If he's at a racetrack,
you get
play-by-play.
You get play-by-play. Yeah, TJ's he's great. Also loves his craft beer too, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Brad Brown with IB Racing, Brad's no longer doing that. Brad brews his own beer. He's brought some to me. Oh. That guy. And then this week he said he's not. So I can bust on him now because he's not on social media this week because he's on vacation somewhere drinking beer. So, hey, let's get to our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. Again, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy sprint cars. I think if you're Brian Brown, you got to be happy. Picked up a win.
Yep.
First win at Knoxville for the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Or the look of the expression when he came out of that race car.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, he was all about it. That was cool. Brad Sweet continues. I think if you're Darren Pittman with 2 podium finishes, you got to be thinking, you got to be licking your chops too.
Yeah. And his comments after the race about, man, maybe I really don't suck here.
Yeah,
something like that.
Darren could be a handful when it comes August as well. So I think if you're those guys, and we've talked about Lance Deweese, I think that, everyone, I think Logan Schuhart's learning his way around Knoxville as well. So when you look at those 5 guys, you look at Logan, you look at Darren, you look at Lance, you look at Brian and Brad, you say, there's 5 guys that left that weekend that are
and I didn't see the number 15 on the podium.
No, I didn't either, but that's all right.
It's all right, but
it's still they're still
usually
working.
He's pretty strong there. In
You're
June.
right about that. So, but he's Donnie Schatz. So there's 6 guys that right now that have reason because his is like.
I didn't say count him out. I just said he did.
Great, but great weekend of racing, man. They fought the weather on Saturday night.
My
Kudos
goodness.
to everybody there, the Duncans and everybody getting that show in, knowing that it's just man, we've been and speaking of getting kicked in the head, oh my God, the Ollie's Bargain Outlet All-Star Circuit of Champions. Now they started off Friday at Attica with about 852 sprint cars, and Kyle Larson won. Okay,
Shocker.
Saturday got rained out. Sunday Muskegon. How about Dale Blaney? All right,
What a story.
man. This story we had Dale on. Was it last week or
Yep.
2 weeks ago? We had him on. I don't know. Within the last
Yeah.
couple of weeks. Okay. And I am telling you what a story Dale Blaney is becoming this season. And that car is rolling. He was podium finish at Attica too on Friday night too. And he's sitting in the hotel with the rain now like everyone else. But and we'll see. Wayne County lost rain on Monday and we'll it's a moving target. I just they're dodging floods. There's roads closed. There's parking lots closed. The forecast. So just follow along. And if you're in Ohio, by God, when they race, get out to the racetrack. Support them because they're trying. Poor Wayne County, they've already tried 3 different dates already. This is 1 week.
In 1 week.
I know exactly. I think Thursday morning at 7 a.m. is no. That's
I give him credit for trying to
I
make
do too.
it happen.
All Stars, Wayne County did all the tracks. It's just, what do you do with this mess? Central Pennsylvania, Freddie Rahmer won at Williams Grove. We'll talk to the youngster here in a little bit. Lucas Wolf and Danny Dietrich picked up the win on Saturdays at Port at Lincoln. Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour. How about the Australian? Scott Boguski. Weekend sweep, Brown County Speedway in Aberdeen, South Dakota, Black Hill Speedway in Rapid City, South Dakota, and they're headed west to Skagit. And in Lernerville, it was always good to see Carl Bowser sipping on some Turner's tea in Victory Lane. Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery. For everything, all your screen printing and embroidery needs, you can find out more at www.classicinkusa.com. That's classicinkusa.com. Going back to Knoxville. What a battle it was Saturday night. It was Logan Schuchart and Brad Sweet, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Sprint Cars, the Brownells Big Guns Bash, Dirt Vision, Johnny Gibson, and Tony Bachhoven with the call. Here's what it sounded like. It's our Dryden Diesel All Death-Defying Move of the Week.
And now for the Dryden Death-Defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Still anybody's race out of turn 4. Here's Sweet to the inside again for the lead.
Wheel to wheel down into turn 1, racing for the lead. Sweet takes the lead back. He'll take the top spot.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official death of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt lay model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing, proven speed.
O'Reilly. Get your vehicle ready for summer during Murray AC Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Whether you need a full AC repair or a charge on your system, you'll find special offers on everything from AC compressors to refrigerant. Stay cool this summer. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Check out the premier Shark Wing as well as other sprint car wings and components. Sprint car, mini and micro sprint wings, and the HRP Original Recess Rivet Wing. All HRP wings are wind tunnel tested. HRP carries a full line of affordable, top-of-the-line, USA-built sprint car components. Shop online for all this and more at hrpracing.com. The Racer's Choice, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
Hi, I'm Sammy Swindell, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
It is Wing Nation. Thanks for bringing us back there, Sammy. We appreciate that. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post. Let's go to the Red Brand Fence Hotline. Joining us fresh off from another visit to Victory Lane at the famed Marion County Fairgrounds, Knoxville Raceway, the Big Cat, Brad Sweet's on the line. Hello, Brad. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Well, congratulations on that win on Saturday night. And, you know, Brad, you go to Knoxville last year and you obviously get the big trophy, the big prize. What's the comfort level being able to back it up right off the bat? Second trip there, the next season. How big did that feel getting that win on Saturday night?
It feels good. Obviously, anytime you can win at Knoxville, it's good. You know, every time that we go there, the Knoxville Nationals are on your mind. So, you know, you don't ever want to leave there, you know, without a fast race car, or, you know, you don't want to, you know, you want to have confidence when you leave there. So, you know, once you win the Knoxville Nationals, I don't think you're ever going to be satisfied leaving that place without the feeling of winning, you know. So, it was nice to win. It was nice to have a fast race car. Nice to know that, you know, we could do a lot of the same things that we were doing last year. So, you know, felt like we left there with some confidence, and hopefully we can build on what we had.
Brad, we talked to Brian Brown last week, and one of the things he talked about was focusing on running the bottom. To win in August, you have to be able to hit that bottom. After the race on Saturday night, you talked about how hard it was to hit the bottom because the track was a little bit faster with all that rain. But you also said you missed it 50% of the time. I didn't see that watching on Dirt Vision, but what do you mean by you missed it? Missed it as much as you wanted to, or didn't hit it just right?
Yeah, I mean, just like, you know, there's times that you hit it just right, and, you know, that's what you're trying to do. And, you know, sometimes you just don't quite get it just right. And sometimes that can be, you know, it can cost you a tenth or two. It can cost you, you know, a half a second. It just depends. You know, there's ways to kind of counter once you miss it, you know, to try to keep your speed up. A lot of times you can kind of turn right, you know, get to the cushion quicker, or, you know, there was just a lot of moisture there. So, you know, you didn't pay, you know, as much of a penalty as if the track was slicker, you know, but we also wouldn't be going quite as fast. So, you know, it just felt like the car needed to be a little easier. You know, for me, I felt like I was really working hard to try to hit the bottom. You know, when your car's really good, it takes a little off of, you know, the driver. You know, it helps, you know, they need to work together, so to speak. So, yeah, we kind of figured that out in August last year, that, you know, the feel I'm looking for. So, you know, we were close, but like I said, the track's different every time you go out there. So you got to be able to adapt as a driver, and we got to, you know, keep improving our race car, or other people will catch up to us.
Brad Sweet joins us here on Wing Nation. Brad, one of the other things, and it was so weird last week, Erin and we had Brian Brown on, and it sounded like you in August, okay? Mm-hmm. He was talking about working the bottom and everything. One of the things he said, and there's times it's just no fun. It's so challenging to do, and you'd rather rip the top. How tough is it to stay disciplined, knowing that the big prize is at the end, of course, but how challenging and how challenging and how tough is it to stay disciplined and commit to that line?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to it all. You can't, sometimes if your car's not handling right, you can't just go down there and run down there because you won't make any speed. Sometimes you have to adapt to what the car gives you. And if you're not hitting the bottom and you're missing it all the time, you're probably going to be better off, and have a better outcome to your race by going back to the top. The top's just a little easier to run, and there's still, always speed up there. Friday night at Knoxville, the top was definitely the preferred line, and the bottom didn't have enough speed in it to keep up. So I think you just need to be able to adapt. You need to have your car working on, in multiple grooves, and it's extremely challenging. When your car doesn't hit the bottom, it looks really, really narrow, and, it's just, it becomes extremely hard, and you miss it, and then you pay, sometimes a second penalty. You go across the whole racetrack, or you're spinning your tires. So, it's a way different line than the top. The top, you can kind of just go up there and rip around, and even if you kind of don't hit it exactly perfect, you don't pay near the penalty that you do when you miss the bottom.
Brad, when you finally got back around Logan Schuchart, you kind of shut the door on him, if you will. Came down the track a little bit, kind of cut him off going into the bottom of the track. Is that it's a kind of a defensive move in sprint car racing we don't talk about that much, but is that a game time decision? I mean, or are there some drivers that you can't pull that move off with?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. That's definitely something that people probably don't talk about, but when the track's really fast like that, obviously I wasn't trying to make it closer or necessarily, run him in the infield, so to speak. I was trying to more get in front of him to show him I was going to the bottom, more like protect the line. Once I saw the video, I realized he was further up to my inside, but I never actually saw him. So that's one thing about sprint car racing too that people don't realize is, it's the driver. Like when you're the driver behind, kind of what the position you have to get on the guy in front of you for him to see you and react. Now if we would have been side by side or a little bit, if he would have been a little further up, I think then I would have had to make a different decision and leave him a lane. But I knew I stood high off too, and I was just trying to get kind of back to, the bottom getting in the three. I just didn't want to leave that lane open, and he got back there. So it's definitely defensive. There's a lot of, we're going that fast, a lot of errors going, a lot of errors moving around, and if I can get the air off of his car, then it'll hopefully buy me a little bit of ground to kind of get going there, and that's kind of what happened. If I watched the video, it looked like he kind of went across the racetrack, and then I was able to kind of clear a couple lap cars and really just open the gap up a little bit for me to kind of finish that off.
Brad, when we look at it, of course, the Knoxville win, a big win for you. As you look at it, your performance atop the point standings, more wins than anybody else with the World of Outlaws. How content are you with where your team is, where your performance is right now across the board for the season?
Well, I mean, obviously you want to be leading points, you want to be leading wins, but I feel like the heart of the season's just now approaching us, all the big money shows, and where we're going to really hopefully be racing a lot more these next few months. So I feel like we're, in good shape, but, I just feel like we're to the point where I just want to put the throttle down and, win as many of these races as we can. I feel really good as a driver. I feel like we have a great race car. I feel like we're gelling as a team. We got good engines, great shocks. Everything's in place. It's going to be all about execution, over the next, 2 or 3 months here, just doing our jobs, me driving good laps and good races and the crew guys and me making good decisions with the race car.
You mentioned that we're coming into the month with a lot of big shows and a lot more racing. So far in the season, there's been a lot of just weekend racing. Is there anything you do differently to prepare for that as a driver? I mean, obviously, it's what a driver lives for, is to race every night. But, going from kind of weekend racing to racing a lot of midweek shows.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just, it helps, you gel a lot quicker. It helps the driver just get more in that race shape, so to speak, where you're just kind of one with your race car. Sometimes when you have a week off, it takes a second to shake the cobwebs off, or you don't feel like you're in that rhythm of when you really get racing. So, it's nice that we have a great race car, and that we can head into these months with, some confidence and some momentum on our side. You don't want to be heading into these months because there's so much racing, not sure about your race car and, guessing at things or, not feeling like you're driving good because, just it can really eat you alive. The Outlaw Tour and all these shows coming up they're big money, and there's a lot of cars there, so it's really easy to get behind a lot of competition. So, you definitely want to be on the good side of it. I've been on the bad side where, we weren't exactly where we wanted to be. So, but now all the big races are coming up, and hopefully we'll execute and, gel and keep just getting better. We have, big goals for this year, so hopefully we can achieve them.
Final question for you, Brad. The boss man, Casey Kane, a lot of changes in his world over the last 6 months to a year. He's spending more time with you. I know he's not spending as much time behind the wheel of the race car, but what's it been like with Casey devoting more of his time to the sprint cars than that other day job that he had for all those years? What's that been like to have him around more? I know he's doing appearances at the racetracks and doing a lot of things. What's it like having Casey there with you guys a lot more this year?
It's been a lot of fun, actually. He can be a pain in the butt sometimes, but I'm just kidding. He's a great car owner. Obviously, I tell him, I said, sometimes I just don't want to talk about sprint cars, but he literally wants to talk about sprint car racing and sprint cars, literally every day, all day, anytime he can. So he's very passionate. I think he's happy with how the cars are running. Obviously, just wants to like me, just keep getting better, but never be, content or satisfied. Just always, he's always pushing us to, try this or think about this, or, we need to get the engine better, we need to get the shocks better. He's the type of guy that just really believes that you can, keep improving your race car, and that's, really what it takes is to have a, really good handling race car to win lots of races.
Man, stuff like that starts from the top down, and with Casey at the helm, it's a pretty good spot to be in. Brad, congratulations again on the win. We'll catch up with you a couple weeks in Jackson and then throughout the summer, but thanks for joining us here on Wing Nation.
Yeah, I hope to talk to you guys a lot more this summer. I appreciate it.
There we go. Brad Sweet, the big cat, joining us here. Now, that move of being defensive going down the backstretch into turn number 3, did Steve Kinzer ever do that move?
Did he ever? All of them do it.
All of them do it.
But
I love the question because it's a little taboo thing we never talk about.
Well, and he didn't really answer the question. If I asked him, there's some drivers he won't do it. Like if some.
Yeah, but there probably is. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, you've got to figure there's a driver.
But it's a great question, and especially with how aerodynamically sensitive everything is nowadays. You just want to mess with the car.
A sprint car, like it's not like the guy that's getting chopped on can just push the guy the way. I mean, you're going to end up tangling in both wrecks. So the guy that's behind basically has to.
So do you do it to Sammy?
I don't think I ever. Well, I did pass Sammy a time or two, but I don't think I ever did.
No,
there were times because you have to. Like if you're going to race with those guys, you got to learn how to do it. But I remember at Lebanon Valley, Paul McMahon did it to me once. We were fighting for third, and I kept my foot in it. I was like, I am.
You're not doing this to me, McMahon.
And I ended up riding him way up the track, and man, he was not happy with me after the race. But I remember saying to him, "You would have done it to me. Like you all do it out here."
Paul McMahon not happy.
Yeah. That was a long time ago.
Gosh, yeah. He's mellowed out, though.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of old. This was like 15, 16 years ago.
Well, there we have it. So, fascinating stuff. It really is. It's one of those topics, you're right, we don't talk about it much, but it's a big part of the sport.
Yeah.
And taking the air off somebody and
getting that space to get some lap cars in between them, it kind of won them the race.
Yeah, there you have it. Man, awesome stuff. Hey, we need to step away. When we come back, young Freddie Rahmer. He's been spending a lot of time in Victory Lane. We'll talk to him next.
10 tours, over 200 nights of racing. The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 28th year. Whether you're enjoying the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series National Tour at Williams Grove, Eagle Raceway, Skagit Speedway, or any of the 9 ASCS regional tours across Arizona, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and beyond, winged and even non-winged, there's a race happening near you. Check online for scheduled details at ASCSRacing.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And when you can't be there live, catch the National Tour and select regional events on RacingBoys.com.
Red Brand Fence, the most durable, dependable, and safest fence in the world. Top horse farms use Red Brand Fence to safeguard their equine investments. Cattlemen install it to ensure their cattle are safe. Racetracks around the world use it to protect spectators, fans, and crews. For over a century, Red Brand's quality has been used internationally for countless uses. Red Brand Fence, the most trusted name in fence. Explore our products at redbrand.com.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery. Located in Greater Pittsburgh, Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back. Here's your chance to win a set of your very own Hercules tires. Go to HerculesTires.com/MRN. Simply register, and each month we'll give away one set of tires. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading mileage coverage to get you wherever you need to go, no matter where the road takes you. Register now for your chance to win a set of Hercules tires at HerculesTires.com/MRN. Hercules Tires. Ride on our street.
This is Wing Nation on MRN.com. Since the Amish cowboy Danny Dietrich and me weren't available, here are Steve Post and the beautiful Erin Evernham.
Terry McCall bringing us back. Wing Nation, presented by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Hey, want to make sure that you tune in next week as MRN heads to Chicagoland Speedway. All part of Procore Week here on the Motor Racing Network. All fired up about that. Going to be good stuff. Also fired up about this young man. He joins us on the Red Brand Fence Hotline. 2 straight wins at the Williams Grove Speedway. Freddie Rahmer's on the line. Hello, Freddie. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
We are doing well. Freddie, have you found something, racing more? What's going on? Because all of a sudden you've got on fire at Williams Grove on Friday night. What's the good stuff happening up there?
I don't know. I don't think we found anything. We just started getting back to what we used to do. You know, even recently used to do nothing crazy, but you slowly try to get. Could be my fault or whatever. You slowly steer away from what you normally do just because you get messed up, get chasing yourself. And we just a little bit ago we've been testing there this year a couple times. And honestly, we just went back to what we did with Stevie and me before, and then you start getting your confidence back and just making better decisions. But we're starting to go pretty good now.
It sure seems like it. Freddie, you went from third to first on that restart, and you kind of went through the middle of the track. How do you make that work? That's not an easy line to run.
No, I mean, it didn't rubber up, but it started to get clean and like a little spotty around the infield. So, I mean, at that point, I've raced it's long enough time now that running in third, it ain't. If you're on third, you might as well on fifth or sixth. So it was going to go wherever they weren't. And the top was too far around at that point. It was with the Silver Crown cars there that it really widened the racetrack out, and that was an excellent show also. But no, it's tough because you got to drive in so straight and like on the right front with enough authority to beat the guys to the center when you're on the middle like that, and then carry speed off because you're in the worst part of the racetrack then when you're in the middle usually. So you just kind of drive straight in there and keep the wheels under, and then kind of chase it up the racetrack at the exit to keep locked down as hard as you can. But I've kind of, I don't know, it seems like I do that pretty often, even on restart on a normal Saturday night at Lincoln or even there, and sometimes it works out pretty well. Like that was, I don't know if there's anything else you could have done to win the race in that opportunity.
Broken down like an engineer to my engineering co-host. She loved that description of it. She's all right on the right front.
Made a lot of sense to me.
God, makes all the sense in the world.
You should have seen Steve's face.
I'm hanging on. My arms are going right front. I'm tipped over and all. I'm like trying to figure it out. But my engineering friend Erin's like makes perfect sense. I do want to talk about this, and I want to go back to your first answer because you said we were trying a lot of things and we went back to the basics. Okay, kind of. There's 3 elements here. There's the basics. okay, there's the engineer trying things, which you all want to, everybody wants to do, whether you're an engineer or whether you're just a regular race car driver, okay? But then you mentioned driver confidence. How do you balance all of that and say, we're going to go down this path, but we went down this path, but I got to stay confident knowing we went down. How do you balance all that as a young race car driver, Freddie?
Yeah, I'm honestly, the confidence thing and staying within like your window or whatever is the hardest thing. I mean, I've seen it with Dad, as Stevie, myself even. I know when I get kind of twisted or whatever, but I mean, you just get thinking about it. Me and Dad get thinking about it, and nothing changed really. I mean, the racetracks vary night to night and throughout the night. And maybe the tires change a little bit here and there, but it's the same old basic thing. So, but you just get, not that we really were trying a bunch of stuff, but you get to thinking, going off your deal a little bit, and really you ain't ever going to have the car dead perfect. So you just kind of get it close, and then you start getting your confidence back and driving better. And when you do your part driving, it makes the car look that much better also. So it's like, I don't know, you can't always stay perfectly mentally right, but the biggest thing, honestly, is just going and having fun, or trying to have fun, and just do the best you can and not get all bent out of shape. And I think that when you're having fun, or when you're running well, you're having fun. So I don't know. I think that's all we got to just keep going and trying to do that. That's all I've been thinking about, really.
Well, winning is certainly fun. Freddie, you mentioned when the Silver Crown cars were there, they made the top or the track a little bit wider, but I never really thought about it before. You know, non-wing cars run a different line. They kind of throw the car in a way more sideways than a wing car and exit a little straighter. Did that change the actual, where like the cushion might be? Was it actually a different shape?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just like when the late models are there, too. They kind of diamond the corner off. They get in low, and then the center's way out, and then maybe the exit will be low. But it was good because they moved it way up, and it actually cleaned off for our feature. And honestly, I was really looking forward to that race, to watch the Silver Crown race, and some of the guys we know were running in it. And a Silver Crown race at the Grove is still pretty cool, or is really cool, 100-lapper. And they definitely changed it compared to a normal week there, because say we'll have 20 to 30 cars in 2 divisions, and then you got them guys going out and warming up and time trialing and throwing them big cars around. It made for a pretty racy racetrack. I mean, even if we won the one, it was, I think the top 5 was there once we got the lap cars, was all pretty much in the same corner right before that yellow. But it was a pretty exciting race from what I saw.
Yeah, no doubt. Seemed like it for sure. Freddie, no rest. You've got one normal weekend coming up, and then Pennsylvania Speed Week hits next weekend. What are you? How's the old man doing? How's the inventory of cars doing? How are things going? As you guys look forward to what you know is on the horizon.
We're in pretty good shape. I mean, try to get ahead a little bit this week with besides just the normal routine. Just on couple little things. Our motors, we're getting, Donat's got our main 2 freshened back up, and no, I think we're in really good shape. I mean, all winter you prepare for weeks like that, basically. So, I think we're in a really good spot to run well for all them shows. And honestly, that's the most fun week of the year for me. My dad gets a little worn out. Obviously, you do it as long as he has, and all the guys that help us, but I can't wait till next weekend for that.
Nor can we. Of course, we're sitting around watching it. So it is great. Freddie, congratulations on the success. I love watching you. And saying I saw a picture of your mom in Victory Land. I gotta love that. Of course, the old man there as well. Congratulations on the success. Continued with that. And thanks for joining us here today.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me on. And I'll see you soon.
You got it. Freddie Rahmer joining us here. You're all geeked up because he went all engineering on us, didn't he? With the shape of the track and everything. Yeah. You're just all fired up, aren't you?
Yeah, I still, your expressions when he was talking about keeping the car under him and on the right front. Postman is literally going like.
Yeah, my hands are moving like a race car driver describing something. He said he's driving it on the right front. I'm like, And I, because I'm just an idiot radio guy,
I didn't say that.
Well, I did, because it's just the truth. So absolutely, ring the bell. There you go. Hey, don't forget Hercules Tires. Our friends are giving away a set of tires. That's right, and we're doing it every month. So go to HerculesTires.com/MRN to register, and maybe you could be the June winner of our set of tires. If not, well, come back in July. You can win it then. Hey, we need to step away. More Wing Nation in just a moment.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing as a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the past 16 years and a partner of Wing Nation for the past 4 years. We love sprint car racing, and we're there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
Since the dawn of American industry, Dryden was there as the country built its first roads, laid the blocks of its factories, and spanned rivers with new bridges and rails. Today, with Dryden's all technology, we instill this heritage into every Dryden oil, lubricant, fluid, and DEF product we make. Dryden is a tradition of performance with 21st century technology. Dryden, official motor oil of the World of Outlaws, and always American-owned and operated. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
O'Reilly.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $28.95 and get a $10 O'Reilly gift card by mail. Protect your engine from sludge and wear with Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Win a Z06 Corvette.com sweepstakes to benefit the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is underway. Go to WinAZ06Corvette.com to find out how you can win the Torch Red 2019 Z06 Corvette that is on display now in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. The winner will be announced Saturday night, August 10th during the 59th Annual Knoxville Nationals. Visit WinAZ06Corvette.com to win this awesome ride.
This is Brian Brown, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
It is Wing Nation. Glad you joined us here. Let's talk about the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame birthday calendar. Actually, not on the birthday calendar, but we certainly want to mention it. Today would have been the 50th birthday for Greg Hodnett, our friend. And saw a Facebook post from Sherry. It was a sweet, beautiful post, but a very sad post. We miss Greg terribly every time we go to the racetrack where he's supposed to be there. Still can't imagine what it's like with Sherry. So continue to hold Sherry and really everyone in the family up, especially on this day, in your thoughts and prayers. So other birthdays later this week. One of your buddies, Speedy Bill Smith, yes, and Bill Wilkerson. But how about this? Thursday would have been the 104th birthday of Clarence Mutt Anderson, a 2003 inductee into the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Now, he was raised in Xenia, Ohio, okay, and his family ran a slaughterhouse. And he worked awful hard at the slaughterhouse because that meant he got to go racing his motorcycle. Well, then he got into roadsters and had a bad crash that took him kind of out of the driver's seat more in the ownership role. And when he did that, wow, did he thrive. Always presented a beautiful, immaculate race car, clean racing operations. Listen to this list of guys who's driven his midget and sprint cars. Roger McCluskey, A.J. Foyt, Bobby Unser, Mario Andretti, Eddie Sachs, Troy Ruttman, Johnny Rutherford, and a whole lot more.
Wow.
Everett Salot was his first driver, and they won the 1937 Central State Racing Association Championship. Him and Everett were buddies. McCluskey won the National Sprint Car Championship for him in 1966, later become a USAC official, always had a strong bond with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and died in 2010 at 94 years old. So Clarence Mutt Anderson, one of the great stories, another one of the great stories, out in turn number 2 at Knoxville at the Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Check that out, the Sprint Car Hall of Fame, sprintcarhof.com. We have a bunch of things going on between ourselves and all of our friends, okay? And I want to mention this. Our buddies at Hefner Racing Products, this Friday, they have an open house. They've got race cars. They've got food and refreshments. They've got shop tours. They've got food and refreshments. You can win race tickets. They've got food and refreshments. They've got the World of Outlaws souvenir rig there. They've got food and refreshments. And they've got food and no, but when you go there on Friday, and that legendary Legends car racer Jeff Wessel's going to be there. Yeah, and they have food and refreshments. So they're on Constitution Avenue in Hartford, Wisconsin. And Saturday night they're racing. World of Outlaws are at Beaver Dam. So Friday, go see these guys.
For food and refreshments.
Yes, for food and refreshments. I went there last year watching the way they make a wing. Fascinating stuff. Now you engineering, you'd be all. And then over in the corner they have the wing graveyard. That was what I call the wing graveyard.
Those are
where
always
all
fun.
of the twisted up wings come back, but they like to research them and to see how everything performed, how everything did everything. They'll watch the video of the wreck and see everything. But it is noon to 4 on Friday at Hefner Racing Products. We're going on the road next week, the 41st annual AGCO Jackson Nationals, Jackson Motorplex, Jackson, Minnesota. It is Minnesota Mafia Wing Nation. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Cha-ching. Those racers are going to have 41,000 reasons to win on Saturday night. But they've got a hauler parade on Wednesday, a $5 burger bar. Hicktown Mafia is going to be spinning and playing some tunes on Wednesday. AGCO has an open house. The Jackson Hall of Famers are going to be there on Saturday. There's a 5K on Saturday morning. You and I are both doing the Husky Strength and Conditioning 5K. Cornhole, pancake breakfast. If for no other reason, the trip to Minnesota will be worth it to see how much altitude Erin can get on her pancakes.
Nervous. I did so well last year.
Last year, she about had them bouncing off the ceiling.
Pressure's on.
Yes, pressure is on. It's the AGCO Jackson Nationals. That's next weekend. Join us there. It is just one of the epic events. Wing Nation gear is available at wingnation.com. Also available at the All-Star Circuit of Champions souvenir trailer in Ohio when they rain and race. So you can check that out. And when we look at the Hefner Racing Products upcoming calendar, Thursday we're going to talk a little Skagit Speedway with our friend Steve Beitler. And Saturday, oh my gosh, they used to talk about must-see TV. Mark Dobmeyer joins us, and we're talking about his career away from the career we know him for. You've got to tune it in, 8:30 and 11:30 on MAV TV. Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone, here on Wing Nation.
Wing Nation has been brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Watch Wing Nation Saturday mornings on MAV TV. You can also find Wing Nation on wingnation.com or your favorite podcast provider. Wing Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.